So I originally wasn't going to make a video on Project L since I'm currently working on a few other videos right now, but it's been on my mind ever since I saw the trailer on Saturday and I'm just so freaking hyped about it. So I just wanted to make a video to get my thoughts and predictions out about the game and how I think it can impact all of fighting games. Now, I'm sure you've seen the title of the video, and when I say it can revolutionize fighting games, I don't mean it's going to be the next League of Legends or Fortnite in terms of popularity or scope. You're not going to see it pulling numbers of 200,000 people watching on Twitch or whatever. Fighting games will never really be like that. It's just too niche of a genre. But I really do believe that Project L has a chance to change the entire landscape of fighting games. The game obviously has the potential to have one of the biggest player bases in fighting games due to it being Riot Games, and if it does that, it will definitely turn the heads of all the other stubborn game companies in the industry. You can already see this happening with the success of Guilty Gear Strive. So here's 3 main reasons why Project L will revolutionize fighting games. 1 is the game features, 2 is communication, and 3 is free to play. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of this. For some reason, fighting games have notoriously been stuck in the past with game features they implement into their games. I mean, just look at the whole rollback netcode extravaganza that's been going on with Japanese developers and their hesitation to even attempt to add it to their games, despite it being a 10-year-old tech that is way better than anything they've used before. But it doesn't stop there. Fighting games have been cutting corners for years with inclusions of basic game features that have been standard in so many other game genres. The fact that this game is going to be the first fighting game to even implement a rage quit feature that punishes people for scumming it out online is mind-blowing. I have no doubt that Riot and the Cannon brothers will make sure that their online and ranked features will be incredibly smooth and streamlined to make the online experience as fun and easy as possible. I still don't understand why this stuff hasn't become commonplace in fighting games to this day. I'm looking at you, Arxis. Not only that, but single player content seems to be cut out more and more in newer fighting games. Now, I have no idea if Project L has any sort of story mode or single player content in mind, but I'm pretty positive that even if they don't initially launch with some single player mode, they'll more than likely add some stuff later into the game to keep it fresh and exciting for people who aren't online warriors, like what they did with Legends of Runeterra. There's also the prediction of the 2v2 mode that Maximilian Dude made on his channel where you can team up with a friend and play against 2 other players in a fight. Now, I think this is a big hopeful prediction to make, but if there's any game developers I could see trying to tackle a game mode like that in fighting games, it would be Riot, especially with the game based off League of Legends. If they were to make a game mode like this, it would be huge though. And one of the biggest factors that I think keeps the general audience away from playing fighting games over long periods of time is that it's hard to play with friends. Sure, you can play against friends, but there's almost no game modes that let you play with friends. This would really help keep players around long term, and we know this for a fact because that's how it works in team-based games. Even if you're terrible at games like Overwatch and League of Legends, you'll still go back and play it when your friends hit you up, because you can still have fun getting your shit stomped in when you're getting it stomped in together with your friends. So next up is communication, and I think this one is easy enough. Simply put, all the big fighting game devs suck at communicating with their players about what's going on in their games. To be fair, Arxis has been making strides recently in this direction with their developer's backyard, but even that still needs a bit of work. Patch notes are consistently vague and confusing and make it difficult to understand what's going on with the character you're playing. Not to mention the skirting around of hot issues like rollback and the long periods of radio silence we often experience. I'm pretty confident that we won't have that with Project L. The 2 videos we already have for them have been very direct and clear about what they're doing. And we already have plenty of examples of the way Riot communicates with their community with League of Legends. I mean, just look at the most recent patch notes for League. Not only are there clear statistical number changes that are written out for you to see to both the champions and the items, but they also have a sentence or 3 that explains why they went about making these changes and what their goal or direction is moving forward. They also make constant videos about big update changes and thoroughly explain what you have to look forward to in the future. Even in the early days of League, before they got the big money, they still made constant videos and updates to keep their player base informed. I look forward to how they approach this with Project L, and I hope that this makes other developers sweat since they'll have to compete with that and hopefully adapt to that. Lastly is the free-to-play aspect. This is something that probably about half of you are worried about and the other half are excited about. And there is no confirmation whether or not this game will be free to play or not at the moment. But going off of Riot Studios' official releases so far, League of Legends, TFT, Valorant, Legends of Runeterra, it's pretty safe to say that it's probably going to be free to play. I mean, straight up, I don't think it's a bad thing. In fact, I think it's a very good thing. I can already hear people saying, oh, but microtransactions and free-to-play games actually make you spend more money than regular games. And those things aren't entirely untrue. In fact, I can already see from just the small amount of footage we've received how skinnable those models are. But it's also true that as a fighting gamer, we're already spending tons of money on buying the game and all the subsequent DLCs that it comes out with. So making it free to play just means that there will be more people picking up the game and trying it out than there would be if there was a price tag on it. Just look at something like Brawlhalla on Steam. It has the higher player count of any fighting game on there right now, and it's not because it's a better game than games like Tekken, Guilty Gear, or Street Fighter. It's because it's free to play. The FGC already has a small and niche community, and I really think having more of its games be free to play would be a good way to help it grow. Not to mention that the format of free-to-play works really well with fighters. I mean, let's be real. Even though there's like 50 characters in Street Fighter V, you probably play about 1 or 2 of them max on a regular basis. So even if the free-to-play aspect of the game requires you to unlock most of the characters with either in-game currency that you earn from playing or just by spending $5 to unlock a character, you'll just pick the one that interests you the most and then you'll probably ignore the rest anyways. Hell, in the long run, you're probably saving money because you're not having to buy the rest of the cast. Also, Riot has some of the most generous free-to-play mechanics out there. In League of Legends, you're constantly given free skins, champions, and loot chests just from playing the game. Legends of Runeterra is a collectible card game that kind of eliminates loot boxes and booster packs by giving you what they call wild cards that allow you to select whatever cards you want with them on top of giving you tons of loot chests that give you random stuff all the freaking time. Of course, they still make tons of money off microtransactions, but they make it off skins and other cosmetics and allow you to play the game without having to really pay to win. But now I'm starting to sound like a Riot shill, so I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Point is, I'm super excited to see more of this game, and I'm sad that I have to wait so long for more. Just this little bit of footage so far is sick, and Echo looks amazing. I really want to try him out. But I'd rather them take their time and make things right first, since this game has the chance to revolutionize how game companies approach making fighting games in the future if they do everything right. But what are your thoughts on Project L? Are you as hyped as I am, or do you think I'm overhyping it? Let me know in the comments below, and make sure to like and subscribe if you liked the video. I've got more on the way that I've been working on for not only fighting games, but other content as well, so stay tuned.